to my channel. This is one of my first official videos. I am gonna attempt today to make a grits and fancy grits and shrimp. As you know, grits, polenta, cornmeal, they're pretty much one and the same in my view. I'm going to do a grits mixed in with sweet potatoes, and along with that I'm going to do garlic honey shrimp. So I begin by first blanching slices of the sweet potato, which I'm going to later fry and use as garnish. For the rest of the sweet potato, what I do is boil them until they're soft, and then I will make a puree from said. The slices of potato that I had done, I'm gonna use ice to chill them rapidly so they don't get too soft or overcooked while I wait for the rest to come to a boil. So I'm gonna stop the cooking process by adding some ice and water to it. I'll do is test the small wedge of the potato, see if it's soft enough, if it's cooked and ready to be pureed. And what I do is, if you notice, I'll be removing it from the water as opposed to pouring the water directly off the potatoes. I remove it from the water because I'm going to use the same water that's left over to boil, to cook the grits. So that water I'm just going to simply add some heavy cream to it to top the volume off, and if the water has boiled out, you can add some more to get it to the required quantity. So I add heavy cream and I season with a little bit of salt and allow that to come back to a hard boil. And while that's coming to a boil, I am able to go ahead and mash or puree the sweet potatoes, which I'm going to later fold into the grits to make it a sweet potato grits. I was mentioning earlier that in a lot of cultures in America they call it grits, in Latin America or parts of Spanish speaking countries it's polenta, in the Caribbean, for example Jamaica, it's called cornmeal. Well, other places it's known as cornmeal, but they're all this one in the same family as far as I'm concerned. You can get pretty much the same results from it. It's just the coarseness of the ground cornmeal that makes a difference. So here I puree or mash the sweet potatoes. I can add a little bit of seasoning to them there. Typically I could do some cumin, coriander, or anything of the sort that, or you can add any seasoning that you prefer. Now my cream and water have come to a boil. I added my grits. The key part of grits is after it has come to a boil and you've added it, you have to constantly stir it or it will start popping. And once you're stirring it, you can go ahead and reduce your flame from high to low, and that will help to prevent it from burning, because grits tend to burn really easy. So what you want to do is go ahead and keep it stirring until it starts to thicken up. The you'll notice with grits when you're cooking it that a little goes a long way, which is why it's been traditionally used as a starch and to get your bellies full or get people's bellies full. It takes just a little bit to work. After that, as I mentioned before, it's important to go ahead and reduce the heat, or you find yourself where it starts to pop all over the place, and that's kind of not cool. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and fold my sweet potatoes. In America, they're also referred to as yams, but sweet potato is more commonly known. So I just put that into my grits and fold it into it, along with some butter, some diced or already softened butter, and that all folds in together. It's important to add the butter softened or diced, because if not, it's likely to break the grits. Go ahead and give it a good stir. Fold it properly into. Fold them both properly in, so you have a nice smooth consistency, or as smooth as it is possible to get it. And as I mentioned before, the heat needs to be reduced because you don't want to lose all the moisture from the grits and prevent it from properly cooking thoroughly. Next, I'm going to just add the previously blanched potato rings, sweet potato rings, to a little bit of hot oil and fry them up, pretty much for garnish. They are not necessarily a crucial component to making the grits, so I like to do it just for the visual effect. So fry them up just for a few minutes on either side until they become crispy, and later on I'll go ahead and utilize them in the plating of the dish, so you can get an idea. So as I said, fry them for a few minutes, flip them over until they become crispy or as firm as you wish them to be. Having been previously blanched, it prevents them from becoming soggy, because sweet potatoes particularly are notorious for becoming soggy when fried. Sweet potato fries and the like. Fry them on a high temperature, and after that, I'll go ahead and remove them and have them drain. In this case, I added them, placed them on a paper towel to remove the excess oil that was on them after frying. When I'm doing this, I maintain the grits on a really low heat, just to keep them warm during this process. Because ideally, this dish shouldn't take more than 20 minutes and max from start to finish. The ingredients that were shown in the start are basic tomatoes, bell peppers, garlic, and onions, and those are prepped ahead of time. Alright, so now that the grits portion of the dish is complete, I'm gonna go ahead starting on the shrimp. I test my pan to ensure that it is at the appropriate heat. I add in just a little bit of water, which should bounce off the pan. if not, the heat is not high enough, and things are likely to stick. I'll go ahead and add some olive oil to my pan, which having a already hot pan should reach its smoke point rather quickly, because olive oil is an oil that has a
Find
very
one that's
low
not
smoke point.
blended, it might be a bit more expensive.
Then I'll go ahead and add my shrimp that I have previously cleaned and was holding a knife. So I add my shrimp to a hot pan and season it lightly. What I'm really doing is a quick saute. So I begin the cooking process on the shrimp. The shrimp should take at max 6 minutes to cook. Another thing is you don't want to overcook your shrimp or they become hard and rubbery. So I add just some salt and pepper to the shrimp, and you see as I proceed that I don't even remove the shrimp. What I do is simply add the rest of the ingredients, the tomatoes, onion, garlic, and peppers to the pan when the shrimp are half cooked, and they'll all come together at the same time at just around the 6 minute mark. Just slide that shrimp to the side, add a little bit of butter, add the seasoning. Remember, the shrimp is garlic honey shrimp. Traditionally in the south, people do various Creole versions of shrimp. They're making shrimp and grits, some tomato base, but I decided to experiment and try the garlic, honey garlic shrimp, which is very flavorful and savory. Traditionally, they'd have used white wine to deglaze, but in this case, it wasn't necessary. So the cooking is almost done. Go ahead and add my honey as perhaps the last component to tie everything together. Give it a few flips, and cut my fire off and let it simmer. At this point, before that, sorry, I went ahead and added some fresh parsley. Completely forgot. Fresh parsley is very, very crucial to the dish. It adds a little oomph to the whole flavor profile. After that, I went ahead and cut my fire off, so the shrimp and grits is pretty much done. The next step here is to begin adding a little cheese. Some people do, some people don't. What I did was add some sharp cheddar and some aged cheddar in there, folding it in to give it a little bit more, more flavor, have it a little tighter, gives it a different consistency. And in addition to that, I shaved some fresh Parmesan Reggiano on top of it. My personal favorite is smoked Gouda, but in this case, I was just trying to keep it standard. Not everyone is able to have all those ingredients on hand, so it's just some Parmesan and some regular cheddar. If you don't have any of that, you can go right ahead and cook and plate them without it. Because it tastes absolutely amazing without. Grits doesn't have a very strong flavor component, but with the sweet potatoes folded in, it gives it a sweet and savory profile. So it's a little bit more than just regular flat grits. So first, for the plating, I'm gonna go ahead and add some grits to the pan. Sorry, some grits to my plate. Not too much, just a reasonable portion because grits tends to be very filling, and make an indentation in the middle, which is like a little nest for my shrimp that I'll later add. So there's the grit, nice and fluffy, steaming hot. Careful when eating grits, it tends to burn. And then I go ahead and add my shrimp with some of that sauce that's naturally created from the honey and the garlic and the butter being sauteed, everything together. It creates its own sauce, so it's not really necessary to go ahead and make additional sauce. Add some shrimp to the middle, make a little nest. After which I'll add some green onions to my grits. I like to have green onions, it's just my preference. And from that, I add the remainder of my fresh chopped parsley to the shrimp. Just for the visual and for the flavor. Next step is to add a few jalapenos I had cut earlier. What it does, it gives it a little spicy profile, a little spice to the profile, so it's not all flat shrimp all tied together to give you some umami. Absolutely amazing. I've had shrimp and grits in many occasions, but I think that this take on it, which is my personal spin, was very good. I'd be excited for anyone to try recreating this dish, and I enjoyed eating it. And yep, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And also watch all my other videos and shorts if you like. Fancy shrimp and grits, in my opinion. And that's that. We're out.